we turn it over to Angie Lassman.
Hello. Good morning, guys. We, of course, have to talk about the fire weather because it's ongoing. It's something that folks across the Northeast have been dealing with, and unfortunately, it lasts through the weekend as well. We've got 42 million people under these fire alerts. Notice how expansive those red flag warnings are, stretching from Boston all the way to Philadelphia. We've got all the ingredients to once again see those fires start and spread quickly. One of those things that we're going to see today is really dry air in place. We're talking 10 to 20% humidity, really essentially bone dry air that has settled in from New Jersey to Boston. On top of that, of course, those gusty winds that we've been dealing with for days and days, they continue. Wind gusts up to 28 miles per hour for Boston, close to 30 for New York City. We've got similar stories up and down this kind of same region. And if you're looking ahead to when we'll get that next rain to kind of help with those drought conditions, it's going to be a while. This takes us through at least Wednesday. Notice not a whole lot of rain. Finally, by Thursday, potentially into Friday, we could see some of that much needed rain working into this region, maybe an inch to 2 inches in some of these spots. But essentially, that big picture look of that drought across the country, it's still ongoing. About half of the country, at least the continental U.S., still under at least a moderate drought. This is a bit of an improvement from last week, but we really still could use a whole lot more, especially across the Northeast, where this is some spots dealing with the worst drought that we've had since the early 2000s. Notice half of the Northeast still under that moderate drought. So some much needed rain needs to happen across this region, but we'll have to wait until late next week for that, guys. Let's look at the weather across the country. Let's see what's happening in your neighborhood.
Angie on the forecast. Angie, what's going on?
Hey, hello, guys. We've got some mild conditions east of the Rockies. If you like the warm weather, then you're going to see temperatures in places like Dallas, low 70s. That'll be nice for outdoor activities. We've got upper 60s in central portions of the plains. Even Chicago, not warm by any means, but running a little above normal for this time of year with temperatures into the low 50s. West of the Rockies, a different story. That's where more of that cooler air has settled in. And the warm air spreads a little farther to the east by the time we get into tomorrow. So Washington, D.C., upper 50s for you. We got the mid 60s in Lexington. Even Cleveland ends up into the 50s, while folks across the southeast head to the upper 70s. As we get through the next day or so, though, a system will start to come together across the middle of the country. This is going to leave us with some unsettled weather for folks, especially in the southern plains. Notice Texas dealing with that heavy rain. We will see the potential for some severe risk as we get into the day tomorrow. So heads up, especially West Texas. By the time we start our next work week, this system will track into parts of the central plains. We'll deal with, again, maybe a busy morning commute on Monday for folks across parts of central Texas, but all that heavy rain will continue to work its way to the east here as we get through your Monday. Notice where the heaviest of the rain is centered across parts of the southern plains. As we look at the weather across the country, let's see what's happening in your neighborhood.
UPS is promising additional stamps to be announced in the coming weeks.
Actually, but we do go get the stamps for the things we like when they put. We do go ask the people at the counter, do you have this stamp? Do I have any cool ones?
They like Mark
I think we've done like peanuts recently.
Okay.
I feel like I'm being set up here. Is there any stamp that I'm supposed to have? I will get the Betty White one.
Yeah, okay. Betty White. You gotta get that. You gotta get Betty White. Okay, peanuts is a good segue to this next one. I grew up watching it, but being
my favorite morning of the year.
Same.
I like to watch the floats get blown up the night before.
Yes.
Yeah,
and then watch it on TV, and then watch everyone on TV.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Yeah, and then you get to eat all day.
There you go.
Thank you, Emily. Still to come, our Saturday morning boost, and just the thing to put on the boxing match.
You know, I watched
$1 million wardrobe there, Angie.
Listen, I could take a $1 million wardrobe. I'll do that. I'll fight Jake Paul if I get $1 million in wardrobe. Why not? All right, guys. Red flag warnings up and down. This has been something that we've dealt with for days and days, and a lot of these folks are in need of some rain. Unfortunately, we're going to see all the ingredients there for the fire weather to continue. So 42 million people from Boston to Philadelphia, including Hartford, up into portions of New York and Vermont. We are dealing with these alerts once again. These conditions, of course, prime for these fires to start and spread. We're still seeing a lot of that dry air in place. It's not just the dry grounds. Of course, we need the rain, and we've been dealing with the drought conditions, but the dry air is in place too. So 10, 20% humidity levels across this region, stretching from Boston to Jersey. This is going to be something along with those really gusty winds that we'll have to deal with as well. This will stay with us here at least for the next couple of days. The next chance of rain looks to be Thursday of this upcoming week. Let's look at the weather across the country. Let's see what's happening in your neighborhood.
We are back this Saturday morning with something that's fun for kids and nostalgic for adults.
That's right. This week, 3 classic toys were inducted into the National Toy Hall of Fame, which is actually located inside a museum in Rochester, New York.
All right, so full disclosure, as you all know now, here they are. Here are the 3 winners that got inducted. So do you want to know how many do you think I voted for?
1.
Yes. I voted for Transformers. Yes.
You mean you didn't vote for My Little Pony?
I did not vote for My Little Pony. We've discussed why. Apples to Apples too. I've also voted for Apples to Apples.
That's a good game.
See, that should be involved. But I think but you'd be surprised. Like there are things that are inducted, like stick. Isn't just like a stick.
Box. If sticks in there,
box.
Enough imagination.
Sand got inducted one year.
Listen, I love Phase 10.
You do.
It's one of my favorite games.
I'd never heard of that. I want to get that.
Yeah.
All right.
It out.
Let's try.
We'll be right back.